Hey there, boys and girls, CJ here with the Straight Vape, and looks like I'm going to be doing a review here on the RX75 Rouleau RX75 mod and tank. But before we get into that, a couple quick things. One, don't forget to fight for your vaping rights. Join CASA, follow notblowingsmoke.org. The FDA is trying to rip this all away from us, so we need to do what we can. And you may or may not have noticed that we now have the Straight Vape t-shirts. These are available at thestraightvape.com, and proceeds from the sales of these are going to help fight for our rights. So if you don't have a whole lot of time, you can't figure out the whole advocacy thing, grab a shirt. You get a shirt, and the money goes towards fighting for our rights. So it's the easiest way you can do advocacy. And they're actually very nice shirts. They're Gildan shirts, screen printed on there, the logo, nice and big. What can I say? So, thestraightvape.com is where you're going to get one of these. Links down in the description. But without any further ado, let's get into this first review of mine, the RX75. Alright, here we go, top to bottom on the Wismec Rouleau RX75. And the box is, it's a typical box. I don't know what I'm really supposed to show you here. I mean, I know a lot of people do this, but, it's Wismec, designed by Jaybo, inspired by Vaping With Twisted 420. So in the box, you are going to get... The mod is going to sit right here. You get a black drip tip and a clear drip tip, and then below that you are going to get some paperwork. You're going to get the Armor Mini owner's manual. You're going to get a Please Be Careful, and you're going to get the Rouleau RX75 user manual there. Okay, below that stuff down here, get this out of the way, you are going to get another box of goodies, and in this box of goodies you're going to get 2 little extra screws, and those 2 screws are for this front door. And this front door is kind of like a smoked plastic, so you can actually see the display through, and I'll show you when we get up close on the mod itself where that, how that'll work. And you're also going to get your USB charging cable, standard issue stuff there. And then this will actually, your extra coil will actually come in a little blister pack, but you get 1 extra 0.2 ohm coil for the tank. So that's what you're going to get in the box. And then let's start from the top. So we're going to start with the tank, and I actually have it already torn apart. And this tank, which I may not have mentioned in the other either the intro, and I may have forgot in the good, bad, and the ugly, so I'll do some of that here. This tank is a nightmare to get apart. I could not even get the glass off of that base. This chimney and bottom section are all one piece. Well, actually, let's start from the top. So there's the clear drip tip that I took out of the box and was using. There, it's just a standard 510. It's a little shorty guy. And then that goes into your top piece here. And we'll go ahead and put this together top to bottom as we're going along. So that just goes into there like so. There we go. And it's got these couple little dots here, and on the other side a couple little dots there. And those are, to help you get a little bit of grip, but it's really not enough. I mean, this area is so small to try to grab to turn it on and off of the tank is it's a little tricky. So once we have that, then your top screws onto like so, which screws onto that little chimney section. And then we take the coil, which this coil is the one I've been using. I've ran about 2 tanks through this 0.2 ohm coil, and this screws into the base like so. And this is a little tricky. So see this, your airflow ring, it just wants to fall off. So probably better actually take that off so you can actually hold the base. Screw this coil down real tight. So there you go. Coil into the base, and it is a vertical coil. These coils actually, the flavor is very nice on these. And then you see the Wismec writing. That's going to go right side up. And there's your airflow. Right there, those two little kidney bean slots. That's your airflow. So when you put this on, like so, okay? And they do have stops in them, but your airflow is actually going to come in above this ring and then down and then through the bottom and up through the coil. Okay, so once we have that, then we can put this guy into here. And this gets tricky too, because you want to grab this airflow ring, but remember it moves up and down, which is kind of a little strange, but kind of get this going here maybe. Okay, that feels like it's tight. And then to control your airflow, you just turn the tank. Come on, camera. Camera. There we go. So that's your airflow there. There's no juice flow control in this tank. And that's it. Your tank's all together. So now if we take the top back off, make sure this is tight. And we're just going to fill our juice in through the side here, very much like a Cleto tank. It's wide open. And I'm going to be vaping this, I don't know how you say it, Casadega Cannoli B1. It's one of my all-time favorite juices. There we go, tank's full. So now this is the part, sometimes these threads don't want to grab quite right, and it doesn't, it feels like maybe I got it that time. But this tank is a little bit janky as far as like the threads and stuff are concerned, which is a shame because the vape on it's actually quite nice. But so that's the tank. Now let's look at the mod. Got a little juice on my table. Alright, so here's the mod, and okay, so from the top down you got your lock unlock button for your fire button, and your fire button is this whole side right here, which is also where the battery goes. So we'll go ahead and throw a battery in there. Battery goes positive side down, just like so. Put that on, and that's your fire button. On this side here, nice bright display, nice and bright. Even in daylight, this thing is super easy to see. So your up, down buttons are here, up, down. This door is what you can replace, and if you look, there's a Phillips screw there and a Phillips screw there. Also your USB for firmware upgrades and charging if you want to. But you take that Phillips screw out, and you take that Phillips screw out, and you can put that clear, that smoked, semi-transparent door on. So when you close this, you can see the display. But that's really about it. On the bottom, we got some battery venting. And you got your nice little lines there. I mean, there's not much to it. And then we screw our tank on, like so. And that's it. And you got your airflow control here on the tank. And yeah, and that's it. You're good to go. So that's the RX75 Rouleau by Wismec, Jaybo, and Twisted 420 from top to bottom. So without any further ado, let's go on out and find out what the good, bad, and the ugly is a little bit more. Alrighty, folks. So that was the RX75 up close there from top to bottom. So now let's do the good, bad, and the ugly. And this is my first review, so I'm kind of just winging it. I'll get into a flow, I'm sure, at some point. But so good. What's good about this? Well, one, I know a lot of people don't like this manual lock, but I love that. You don't have to fiddle fart with buttons, and you're not relying on an electronic lock that to lock the buttons up. And does it lock the temp? Does it lock the sometimes you'll lock it and it'll lock the up down button but not the fire button, or it'll lock all the buttons and you don't know what's what. This is just it's like a no-brainer. If it's on, it fires. If it's off, it don't. Simple, right? I love that. Actually, I do like that the display is not only super duper duper bright, but that, you know, you can make your adjustments, boom boom, close that up, and now you're basically stealth mode. I like that. The fit and finish is very nice so far. You know, it feels good in your hand. Oh, see, it's locked. The tank, very, very good. You know, it's got a nice drawl to it. It's slightly restrictive, I'd say. It's not like just super wow, you know, airflow, but it's got a good, nice drawl in it. The vapor is very, very good. 2 mils of juice. You know, that could be bad for some people. It's okay for me. Let's see, good stuff. Single 18650, so you don't have to worry about pairing batteries. You know, the magnets have been very, very good. The front one's a little bit looser. Not as strong as the back, which is, you know, but it's never been enough, you know, so that it falls down. It's been strong enough to hold it up there, so no problem there. I like, you know, one of the good things I like is the manual lock. It's simple. It is firmware upgradable. It comes with a couple different drip tips. So what's bad about it? Bad, the threads. When you go to take the top one off the threads, a little crunchy, and I sometimes had to like back it off and put it back on, and I put it on, and I was like, is that right? And I take it back off and put it back on, and so the threads on this tank, Also, the tank, sometimes the 510 threads can sometimes be a little bit the same way. They look nice and they, you know, and everything, but I don't know, it might be the tank maybe on this Armor Mini, but sometimes they just get grabby and makes the tank hard to get off. What else is bad about it? Don't really have any other bad things. I mean, not that much. Just the threads and the tank. You know, bad might be the 2 mils of juice. You know, maybe that's not enough for you, but you know, it's been okay for me. And now the ugly. The ugly is that you can't get the coils anywhere. I can't find the coils anywhere. Only comes with 2 coils. And if I can't get coils for it, then once I go through those 2 coils, the tank's kind of worthless. So, which is a shame. Hopefully they're going to be out soon because this tank has been very, very nice. I just really like the whole setup. This is going to become now my everyday travel vape. You know, single 18650. I can, you know, in a pinch I could charge it. You know, check out my battery video about that. But you know, I can throw another 18650 in my pocket. But this has been lasting me, even rocking this at, what am I at here? I'm at 57.5 watts. It's, you know, lasted me almost a whole day, and I'm, you know, battery's half gone with a 3000 milliamp hour LG HE2. So yeah, it's been a pretty cool little mod. You know, the styling would be another, you know, good thing about it, I guess, or could be bad for you. I don't know, maybe you don't like it, but I think it's kind of cool looking. The form factor, you know, kind of like all in one, very nice. But yeah, so that's the good, bad, and the ugly on the RX75. Hey, I hope you liked this review. If you did, give it the old thumbs up. If I suck at reviews, give it a thumbs down. Leave any comments you have down below. Remember to subscribe, and don't forget about the giveaway. We're getting very, very close. We're at like over 300 subs already. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really, truly do appreciate everyone, all your comments and liking and subscribe and following us on other social media. I greatly do appreciate it. And as always, fight for your vaping rights and keep your vape game strong, boys and girls. Until next time, I'll see you later.